Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crohn's Go Country. We're we're detailing some of the things we do as we turn this property which we got, which was a very old abandoned basically property. Nobody's lived there in about 15 years. As we turn that into somewhere where we can live. So I'm teaching you kind of the things that we've learned or are learning along the ways about how to do certain things. Now, of course, I've done a lot of research. I've got some background in doing stuff like this a little bit as well. I'm a pretty handy person, know my way around tools. And so it's not really that difficult if we just go out there and do it. I find that a lot of people are intimidated before actually starting a project like this. And it is something you want to be careful. You don't want to jump into if you're really don't enjoy doing stuff like this, for example, or if you're really apprehensive about it. This may not be the type of thing for you. But I do like sharing some of the tips and tricks and things that we've learned. I'm going to tell you this. One of the things we learned very quickly is it's a big project. So we started out with the string trimmer, which you saw in the previous episode, and it did okay. It really did okay. But given the scale of what we're dealing with here, it was just, we realized very quickly that wasn't going to cut it. So what did we do? Well, we did like most other sane and logical people would do, and that is we bought a tractor. So the tractor we bought is a John Deere 1025R. It's a subcompact tractor, meaning it is pretty small, but it's a true tractor. It's got the front loader. It's got a 3-point on the back with PTO. It runs good size accessories. And we went back and forth on different sizes of tractors, the 1 series being the smallest. Then they have a 2 series, which wasn't much of a step up. And then the 3 series, which is a decent sized tractor. But here's what we kind of came up with. There's a lot of trees out there. There's a lot of kind of tight in areas, and 2.5 acres really isn't that big. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, going with the 3 series, that may be too big, which is why we went with the 1025. So this is, again, a true tractor. The one thing that I will say is that the loader is not the most powerful thing ever, and that's okay. There's going to be limitations when you go something smaller, but it does weave in and out of stuff real nice, real easy. It's hydrostatic, meaning there's no clutch. It's all hydraulic transmission, and it's 4-wheel drive. So it's pretty handy. We also got with it a brush hog, which I'm affectionately calling our for lack of a better term, our honey badger, because it just doesn't care what it runs over. It eats everything. I really love this thing, and you'll see that in some future videos, kind of what we've done with it and some of the results of it. The other thing we got that was invaluable is the box blade. So it's a 4-foot box blade. It's about the same width of the tractor, and I tell you, we have used that thing everywhere. So the ground out here has ruts and holes in it everywhere. I mean, it's hard to walk anywhere without twisting your ankle, which is really bad considering I had Achilles surgery not too long ago. But I mean, I'm telling you, it was hard to find a nice level spot anywhere on this property. And I've been wondering what it is. I mean, is it armadillos? Was it hogs rooting? Was it whatever? I'm starting to think maybe it was from chickens. The neighbor has a bunch of chickens, and they tend to come over there. And if you've ever seen how chickens kind of scratch up and dig these little nests kind of things that they sit in, I'm wondering if it was that. I mean, honestly, I don't know. But the box blade has been invaluable for leveling that stuff off, smoothing it a little bit. It's not perfect. It's, it is what it is. But it's a great little tool. So if you're going to get something like this and you're doing this type of work, I highly recommend the box blade. The other thing that we got that I absolutely love and use pretty much every time I'm on the tractor is the pallet forks. These are forklift forks. So they replace the bucket up front, and it's a quick release bucket, so it's not hard to do. But I find myself 99% of the time, I've got the pallet forks on this thing. They're just so useful. You'll see in the video here, being able to pull stuff out of the ground, like trees. I've done small trees. I've done the posts for fencing, and even pulling up the fencing, because I just drive into it with the forks and lift the loader up, and it pulls all that stuff right up out of the ground. It's been a fantastic tool. The other thing I learned I can do with it is dig. That's right. So I put the forks fairly close together, and I get around the base of a larger tree. Maybe we've got some dead ones out there that are, maybe, about this big around or so. And what I do is I use the forks to kind of dig up the dirt around the roots. Now, it doesn't lift the tree out. It's not got that much power, especially on the end of those big forks. The leverage just gets to it. But it's been awesome for just digging and digging and digging. It's been fantastic for that. And then you expose those roots and you can push it over or pull it over very easily. It's been awesome for stuff like that. And then there's the other stuff. I mean, actually moving around stuff with pallets, moving around wood when we've gotten wood deliveries, load it up on that thing and haul it back. Things that the bucket being enclosed on the sides is not great at doing. Now, I have used the bucket quite a bit too. But if you're looking at one of these little tractors, and again, you're doing this kind of work, I highly recommend looking at the pallet forks. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a pretty expensive investment, and it is. It absolutely is. But here's the thing. John Deere, like when we got this, and I know they've been doing it for a long time, don't know if they still are, but they've offered, it's 0% financing. And so it's free money. And it's incredibly useful. I'll be honest with you. I kind of think had we not gotten this tractor, we might have burned out very, very quickly on this project. It was just so much bigger than we thought about going into, and there's just so much more about it. Now, we've got a bit of it cleared in the front. We're going through that. I'm looking at this trailer and trying to decide what we're going to do with it. If we're going to end up trying to tear it down ourselves. The best quote we've got so far is about $4,000 to have it removed. And I'll be honest with you, it's getting kind of tempting. By the time we pay for the dumpsters and we do that kind of stuff, it probably is going to save us about $1,000 by having someone else do it. Now, the tractor is going to be great if we do it for tearing off the siding and pushing stuff over. But there's a couple limitations that are pretty big. The biggest one is the height that the forks lift really isn't that high. It's a little bit, it's under 6 feet, I think. Yeah, I mean, with the forks tipped up and stuff, you can get in there. But as far as loading over the edge of some of those big, they haul it away dumpsters, it's just not going to go over the edge, which means we have to load it from the back, which has its own series of things, which is why we were thinking about doing a mini excavator. But that gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. So you see what we're struggling with here. And what I'm finding is in a lot of cases, or in some of these cases, especially when larger machinery is involved, it may be more cost beneficial just to have someone else do it for you. I tend to like to do everything on my own, but there comes a time when that's just too much. So something to keep in mind. Again, if you're doing something like this, maybe it's worth a shot. Look around, see what you can find. If they're still doing 0% on these, it's great because it's not only a tractor, it's all the implements that you do too. So, having said that, here's some of the video of some of the things we're doing. Enjoy. All right, so we've made it through some of the front stuff here, and now we're back where one of the old storage sheds was. But it's time for this to go. We've also got to take down some fence back here so we can get through to the back part of the property with this and start our serious cleanup back there. This should be fun. Well, I hope that this episode has been at least kind of fun for you and maybe understand a little bit more, especially if you're taking on a project like this, why having the right tools at the right time can actually be so important. As I said before, I really think if we didn't have this particular tool, this forklift, it would have been very easy to get burned out on this. And I guarantee you it would have taken much, much longer to do most of the work that we ended up doing in here. Frankly, I like the fact that I'm not having to go through the shrubbery and stuff by hand all the time. I mean, we got some pretty big spiders out here. I don't like messing with those things. It's nice to be on the tractor rather than walking through the shrubbery seeing these things. So, that said, if you're doing this kind of work, think about that. Think about all the other uses, like using these forks to be able to just rip up old fences. The nice thing about this is it's really, for the posts, when I'm pulling them straight out, it's not really non-destructive, or it's not really destructive. So I have a whole bunch of these posts that we can reuse in future fencing projects instead of knocking them down or standing there with a shovel all day digging them out. Now, I get it. It is an expensive investment, but maybe you don't need all the things, or maybe you can find a used one that's less expensive, or it is an option oftentimes to rent these things. Look at some of your big box stores or some of the rental places around you. You might be surprised at how inexpensive it would be to rent one of these things and just tackle some of this stuff over the course of a couple of days. You can get a lot done with some focused effort. So keep that in mind. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got future episodes coming up. I'm working on the electrical out here some more. Going to be working on the well and seeing if I can get water out there once I get electric going. There's this shed that's over there that we get to tear down. There's lots of stuff we still have ahead of us that I've been trying to document as well as I can. So look forward to speaking to you later. If there's questions that you have, please let me know in the comments at wherever you are watching this thing, and I'll be happy to respond however I can. Thank you, and take care.